Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a brand new video for you guys, and that is going to be my annual League One predictions. Now, like I've said, I do this every single year, and every year I do incredibly bad. Like, I'm pretty sure like last year I got 1 out of 24 correct, which in hindsight it's not too bad, but I got incredibly lucky with that prediction, and I actually got a lot of stinkers in that prediction as well. So I'm hoping that this year I'm not going to have many stinkers. Like, I'll accept maybe 2 stinkers at most. But this year, I genuinely believe I've actually got a decent chance this year. I think I've actually done an okay job of this. Because basically last year I got a lot of complaints from fans and I didn't put enough research in. Which I did, but according to them I didn't put enough research in. So I did more research this year around. And I think I've got a decent little table here. Now, if you guys see me looking over to my left, well, it'll be the right to you, but like to my left, it's because I've got my notes on my laptop, so I can just read over easy, like without having to like click on and off of them. So that if that makes any sense, I've got the actual league table that I can see on my actual computer. So okay, so now I can see my league table. That's basically going to be that. And also, guys, I literally just got my season ticket as well. Literally like a couple of minutes ago, it just came in the post, so that's pretty good, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, this season, as a Sunderland fan, not looking forward to it at all. I'll talk about more about Sunderland when we get to them. But I think without further ado, let's get into these predictions. So starting off with the relegation 4. Now, from what I've seen from people's predictions, it seems to be these 4 teams seem to be in and around the relegation zone, if not facing in 20th or 19th. And honestly, I think this relegation battle could be done within a few, literally with a few games to go. I think this bottom 4 could all get relegated pretty quickly. I'll go through it anyway. So finishing rock bottom, I do have AFC Wimbledon. Now, every single year I have Wimbledon to get relegated, and they never do. However, this year is gonna be the year, and I'll tell you why. Joe Pigott. He's gone. He's no longer there. He's gone to Ipswich. He's gone. And if you ask me, he's probably the only reason why Wimbledon are playing League One football this season. Like, I think without his goals, they're a pretty crap team. And I mean, like, even last year they weren't great. I mean, literally Sunderland easily beat them last year at I forgot the name, Plough Lane. Plough Lane. See, Wimbledon, nothing team. I mean, pre-season has not been good. I mean, like, they've lost 5 games in pre-season. The new signings that they brought in are not interesting at all. Like they've brought in some players from the non-leagues. They've brought in some lads from Chelsea and Tottenham, which sounds in hindsight great because all they're playing for Chelsea and Tottenham, so they're mostly decent. But no, I think Wimbledon needed a more experienced team, and I just can't see it ending well for them. Like, they may not finish bottom, but it's not going to be pretty for them this season. Coming in 23rd, I do have Cambridge, the first of the 4 promoted teams, which I'm going to be talking about. I mean, a pretty average pre-season for Cambridge. They've only won once, but they have drawn in 4 games. However, they have lost again, like Wimbledon, they have lost a few key players. Paul Mullen being the main one. I think he's signed for Wrexham. I think he's signed for. Which, I mean, it's pretty clear why he's gone to Wrexham for the money. But yeah, Cambridge, I mean, again, Noyle, you could say maybe he's got, like, him going is a bit of a stinker as well for Cambridge. I mean, I don't really know how much of an impact player he is. All I do know is that he played most of Cambridge's game last season at right back, so who knows. Again, the signings that they brought in aren't great. I mean, Lancaster from Ipswich is an interesting signing. I think he could be a good player for Cambridge this season. I mean, yeah, this aren't strong enough for this league, in my opinion. Haven't strengthened it well enough, and I think it'll be a swift relegation back to League 2. Now, in 22nd, I've gone with Morecambe. A lot of people probably think that Morecambe will probably be like the whipping boys this season, but I think they'll probably put up a good fight. The big one for Morecambe, Derek Adams is gone. He's left the club. Where's he think he's gone to Bradford. I think he's just gone to. I think he went to Bradford. So yeah, Morecambe, they've lost the manager. I mean, like, last year, Morecambe actually had the lowest budget in League 2 last year, and it still went up. So this year, by far, the lowest budget in League 1. And I just don't think they can cope in this league. I just don't think, for years, Morecambe were in a relegation battle to stay up in League 2, and Last year, they got promoted, but will they stay up this year? I just don't know with Morecambe. And again, Mendes Gomez is gone. He was probably one of their star players, up and coming players. Got the Luton, he's gone as well. Again, the signings that they brought in aren't great. I mean, like just a bunch of players from League Two, a bunch of Scottish Premiership rejects. However, O'Connor is a good sign. I think he'll probably be a good addition to the back four, or back five. But again, like Cambridge, I don't think Morecambe have strengthened well enough, and I think it will be a relegation back down to League Two. And finally, finishing 21st, and probably the best out of a bad bunch, we do have Cheltenham Town, the third promoted team. I don't think the promoted teams are going to fare well this season, apart from one, which we'll get into later on. But Cheltenham again, I mean, to be fair, they've played the good pre-season, but apart from playing Coventry and Walsall, they haven't really tested themselves this season. So that they're playing a lot of non-league teams, which could, it boosts morale, but you're not really testing yourselves against a big opposition. And again, Cheltenham just haven't made enough signings for me, but they have brought in Owen Evans from Wigan, which I think is a great signing for them. I mean, again, they brought in 3 players, but to be fair, they haven't lost any key players, which you could say is a good shout. I mean, again, like Morecambe and Cambridge, just haven't strengthened enough, and in my opinion, just aren't strong enough for this league. 21st. So now we've got the how many teams is it? The 8 teams who will be finishing in the bottom half, but will survive relegation. In 20th, I've gone with Accrington Stanley. Now, I believe this is the first year where I haven't actually predicted Accrington to go down. That's just because last year they did pretty well. I know they finished 14th in the end, but they actually had a decent season for their liking. And this year, I mean, to be fair, they haven't really lost any key players, which is alright. But I mean, I just think this year, League One, this year is incredibly tight. And honestly, I could say maybe the top 17 clubs could all be within a shout of maybe trying to get a little playoff push, or at least thinking about it. So I couldn't merely in 20th because I just don't think their teams above them. I don't think they can compete this season, but I still think they will survive. In terms of signings, they brought in Mumbon going up from Burnley, which I think is a good addition. Apart from that, haven't really brought any key players. And the pre-season was quite good, and they picked up 3 wins, and I've played against decent opposition, so fair enough I couldn't. But 20th, I don't think, I know they've above relegation zone, but I don't think they'll be in too much trouble this season. I think they will survive comfortably in the end. 19th, I've gone with Crewe. Now, Accrington had a pretty good season last year. I think Crewe finished 12th last year. So again, so they had a pretty good season. But again, Accrington, I don't think that they've got the squad to compete this season. I mean, again, pre-season was decent. They got 4 wins, and again, Accrington, they played good opposition. However, the talents they brought in aren't exciting, but again, they haven't lost any key players either, which I suppose is good. However, Owen Dale could still leave, which I don't think will harm Crewe, but it could be one of those deciding factors. And again, the teams above them are stronger this season, so yeah, that's my thoughts there. 18th, we're going with Plymouth. Now, I don't know if their fans are joking or not, but Plymouth fans seem to think that they actually got a good shout this season. Which, I mean, they could, but I just don't see it personally. And again, pre-season was okay, I suppose. I mean, they got 3 wins, but they did play against good teams again. I brought some decent names. James Bond from Portsmouth was a great addition there. As well as Wilson from Ipswich. Now, Wilson was actually Ipswich's player of the season last year. However, he is injury prone, which could be problematic for them. And I've also brought in Broom on from Peterborough, which I think is a really good addition for them. Peterborough fans seem to rate him a lot. So I'm excited to see how he gets on with Plymouth this season. But again, Crewe and Accrington, the teams above them, they're stronger, which is why I think I've got them in 18th place. 17th, we've got Gillingham. Now, Gillingham with a team who usually are in around the top 10, but this year I don't see it at all. They've had a pretty poor pre-season. They've only won once. They have lost key players, being Jack Bonham and Jordan Graham. Jordan Graham was one of the best players in League One last season. He is gone. But that brought some decent names. MF and Bristol Rovers seem to be the best out of a bad bunch over there. And also I've brought in Ollie Lee on a permanent from Hearts, who again is proven at this level. So I'm hoping he's going to do well for Gillingham this season. But I mean, again, Gillingham, they haven't got any standout names like Graham. So I think they'll probably be a 17th in the table place for them. 16th, we're going with Fleetwood Town under Simon Grayson, who has got a good track record at this level, but we're talking 10 years ago now. And the league has changed a lot since then. Like, League One has become so tight nowadays, like, you just can't call it half the time. So I think Fleetwood will probably end the finishing 16th. I mean, again, pre-season, pretty average, but I mean, they play some good teams. Signings, like, the key signing is probably Anthony Pilkington, which, I mean, I don't know why, but I don't know why Fleetwood seem to like, oh yeah, an old Irish left winger, Aidan McGeady's doing well, Sunderland, why don't bring in Anthony Pilkington? I mean, again, Pilkington hasn't really played often in the last year or so I'm curious to see how he gets on. I don't know if he'd be fit enough for Fleetwood. I think Fleetwood, I mean, Grayson's not going to be like the most great manager to watch. I just don't see Fleetwood doing much this season. In terms of 15th, I've gone with Burton Albion. Now, I actually had them a lot higher, but that was a long time ago. And now, the teams above them have brought in some good players. So Burton, a full season on the Hasselbank, they'll probably do alright. I mean, had a pretty average pre-season, but again, they played better teams. Brought in some decent names, Louis Malt. However, he's just got injured for 4 months. So he's not going to be available until Christmas time. It's going to be a shame for Burton, because that pretty much just eliminates all real hopes of goal scorers. Like, Malt did well in Scotland with Motherwell. He did okay with Preston. In the Championship, he didn't really do much. I think in League One was a good signing, but he's now injured. Deji Osalaja from Charlton as well is a good addition. He didn't really, he couldn't really do it in the Championship, but in League One, especially last season, he had a pretty good year last year, and also the league before that as well. I think Burton have made some good names, but haven't really many key mark signings, and again, the teams above them are just stronger, in my opinion. And in 14th, probably one of my more, I won't say controversial placements, but I think people might disagree with me on this one. Bolton Wanderers, the final promoted team in 14th, which is quite a big gap from the other 3 teams. I think will all get relegated apart from Bolton. But Bolton, they've had a good pre-season, they've stayed unbeaten, and I've played some decent opposition as well. Some good signings as well. Declan John on a permanent signing, he did well last year for them. Bakayoko from Coventry is a good signing as well. He didn't really do well in the championship in the championship that season, but in League One year before he did pretty well. Joel Dixon from Barrow's a good backup goalkeeper choice as well. He also got Amiechi as well on loan from Hamburg, I believe, who hasn't really been tested much in his career, but this year could be his year where he really does blossom. And obviously Bolton, they're doing well right now. They're in the last year in great form. They've made some good signings for this league, and I believe they will finish in a comfortable 14th place. And finally 13th, just missing out on the top half, we do have Shrewsbury. Now Shrewsbury have been a pretty average team late, in the last few years. There's a team who are just there. You don't hear about them. I think Shrewsbury just there to make up the numbers. But this year, I think they've actually given it a good go. A good pre-season, they won all 3 games, but didn't really test themselves. Rochelle Williams has left. I think he's signed for Doncaster, so he's a big player who's gone now. However, that brought some decent players. Morossi, a brilliant goalkeeper addition, Coventry, again from Coventry, was excellent for Coventry in their season, and again, he has been proven at a level time and time again. Great name. Elliot Bennett as well for Blackburn, hasn't had the best, goal assist record for Blackburn, but he was one of their senior players and in League One could do well. Again, Lee High from Bristol Rovers again, good name, and Pennington on a permanent deal from Everton as well. So Shrewsbury have strengthened their team a lot, but again, I think they won't cut in the top half, because I just don't think they can make it in the top half, but I think they will be very close. It was a big toss-up between them and the team I've gotten 12th. And speaking of worst, now I've got these 6 teams I think will finish in the top half, but will miss out on the playoffs. And then 12th, I've gone with my boy Sunderland. It's a fucking mess of Sunderland this season. It just is a mess. We released a lot of players this season, which I think, we needed to clear of, but we haven't replaced them with any players. But the ones I've brought in, Callum Doyle from Man City, he's done really well in pre-season so far. Corey Evans from Blackburn is a good name in that midfield, as a whole midfielder as well. And also Alex Pritchard, who unfortunately has been pretty injury-riddled so far this season, in pre-season. He's been quite ill. So unfortunately he's missed out on pre-season a lot, but hopefully he can get back into this team as soon as possible. Overall, pre-season was alright. We weren't beaten, but we played a good mix of teams. But I mean, Sunderland, I just don't think our team's strong enough to be competing for top 6 this season. And honestly, I think we've got a very thin squad. And honestly, I think the same could be said for Portsmouth in 11th as well. I mean, like Sunderland, they had a bit of a clear out this season in terms of players leaving, but haven't really replaced them. In terms of signings that have made, the decent signings, but they need more. Portsmouth have a very thin squad right now, and they need more signings. And again, Rotherham in 10th place as well, because it's the exact same thing for them. And especially as a team coming down from the Championship, Rotherham usually do go up every year, but I think this year, won't even get top 6. Rotherham, they've got a very thin squad. They lost a lot of players and haven't replaced them with players either. So I think Rotherham actually have the thinnest squad in the league behind Sunderland and Portsmouth. So I think Rotherham, they're going to be finishing in 10th place this season. Just haven't got the squad depth to be competing, really. Now, finally, in 9th place, we do have MK Dons, who originally had in the playoffs, but they've just let go of Russell Martin as the manager. He's now just signed for Swansea. And MK Dons, I mean, I think they've made some good signings this season. Mo Isa from Peterborough is a fantastic signing, in my opinion. I think he'll score goals, but, they have lost some key players, Cameron Jerome, he's gone, he's left, Scott Fraser's gone as well, and Lee Nichols, the goalkeeper as well, so MK Dons have lost a few of their key players. And yeah, they have made some decent signings as well, but again, I think now losing Russell Martin, I just don't know what MK Dons will do next season now. But I mean, again, I think if Martin had stayed, he probably would have gotten them in the playoff, if you ask me. Now, if we go with Doncaster, Doncaster are actually looking good this season. I mean, yeah, Richie Wellens it's a pretty bold appointment, not gonna lie, but I think he could do well, with Doncaster. Reece James has gone. He was a big player for Doncaster last year. He's now gone to Blackpool, but I've made some decent signings this season, so I think they probably will be in around that playoff push. 7th and 7th place are going with Lincoln City, who I think will just miss out on the playoffs. Now, it really was a toss up between 7th and 6th for me. I think with Lincoln, losing the playoff final is so demoralising, team. I'm just saying, look at the last 3 playoff finalists. Shrewsbury haven't even been in the top half since. Sunderland have, season after they finished 8th, had a pretty rough season. And then Oxford last year, yeah, they missed the playoffs in the end, but they were in the bottom half for a lot of the season. So I think Lincoln could have quite a poor start, but I think they will eventually end up finishing in 7th place. George Grant's gone. However, Lincoln have brought in some good players. Chris Maguire is a fantastic signing, in my opinion. I'm still a bit upset that he left Sunderland, but I think he'll do well at Lincoln next year. I think Bishop as well from Ipswich is a good name. Also Sorensen and Adalukan as well. Adalukan did well last year with Hull on loan as they went up, so I think he could be doing well for Lincoln this season. I think Lincoln will just miss out on the playoffs. Now, last year, what I did with the playoffs, I revealed two teams at a time. I think I'm just going to reveal all 4 teams at once, because that's the way I like to do it. Now, in 6th place, I do have Wycombe Wanderers. Now, Wycombe, they've been a bit inactive in the transfer window so far. Well, not inactive, but they haven't done much. Pre-season was good. They picked up 4 wins. However, they didn't really play any good opposition. Key players, Onyedinma's gone, it's a huge loss for them. Also, Ikpeazu's gone as well. So they're 2 big names that have left Wycombe, but they have brought in Sodi Kaika from Blackpool, who is a good addition, and probably the signing of the window, Sam Vokes as well. Sam Vokes in League 1 for Wycombe Wanderers. His career is just fucking falling off, bloody hell. But yeah, Wycombe, I think they'll probably end up finishing the playoffs, but I don't think they'll do much in the playoffs this time round. Charlton have gotten 5th place. I mean, again, they've had a pretty decent pre-season. They've played some good teams in there. However, they have lost Ben Amos, who was, in my opinion, a brilliant goalkeeper. When Charlton played Sunderland at the back end of last season, he was my man. He was on steroids. He was just pulling off save after save. He was doing really well. However, they have brought in McGillivray from Portsmouth, which is a great Amos replacement. But they have also lost Chuks Aniki as well, who had the goals last year. But they have brought in Jaden Stockley on a permanent deal from Preston. So I think that could be Aniki's replacement. But whether he can do it consistently this season is probably going to be Charlton's biggest ask for them this season. And again, they get playoffs, so I don't think they'll do much. Fourth, we do have Sheffield Wednesday, who I owe an apology to Sheffield Wednesday, because I've just written them off before. I just saw that Sheffield Wednesday had a transfer embargo, well, not an embargo, but there's a lot of players, there's a lot of problems behind the scenes, but they have turned it around. Pre-season was good, have played some good teams, picked up 3 wins, but I think unlike the Rotherham, Portsmouth, and Sunderland, Sheffield Wednesday have actually replaced them players with Jaden Brown from Huddersfield's a good name. Jack Hood is a brilliant signing for League One, absolutely unbelievable signing as well. Shadipo is a good name. Peacock Farrell on Leeds is a fantastic addition. He's going to be probably one, I reckon he could be the Golden Glove winner this season. And Lewis Wing on from Middlesbrough as well is a great addition as well. So I think Sheffield Wednesday probably will be finishing in the playoffs. But I think they probably will lose in the final to Wigan Athletic, who have got in 3rd place. Originally, I had Wigan to finish in the top 2, but after some reconsideration, I think they'll probably just miss out. Wigan have had a really good preseason. They won all 5 games, and they have played against some decent opposition as well. They have lost key players. Lee Evans and Cal Joseph have both left. They're now in the Championship, and it's just a bunch of will Wigan replace them, and they have Jack Watmore from Portsmouth, a brilliant signing. Ben Amos from Charlton, again, good signing. Tom Naylor again from Portsmouth, their captain, they're probably the heart of their midfield last season, good signing. Jordan Cousins as well from Stoke, good signing. And also I brought in the likes of Charlie White as well, Max Power. We're going to brought in a lot of good players for League One level, and I think they probably will be in a playoff hunt. And I think in my opinion, I think Wigan probably will win the playoffs. In my prediction, but they will unfortunately just lose out on the top 2 to these 2 teams. Second place, I've gone with Oxford United. Now, Oxford, I think this year probably will be the year where they do actually get promotion. 2 field playoff competitors in a row now. I think they'll do well. They've had a decent pre-season, but albeit they haven't really tested themselves. And I brought some good players. Billy Bourne from Preston's a good addition, and he has done well at League One in the past. Nathan Holland from West Ham is a good addition as well. Gavin White from Cardiff is a good name. And Thornley, the dude that signed from Blackpool, is a really good addition. In my opinion, I think Oxford probably will get automatic promotion this season. And then finally, I think my League One winners this year will be Ipswich Town. Now, Ipswich, since their relegation to League One, have been pretty shit. I'm pretty sure they finished in 11th both times. But this year will be the year, in my opinion, where they will get automatic promotion. Now, they have had a pretty poor pre-season, but, albeit they have played some good teams. Key players lost. Andre Dozzel's gone to QPR. It's a huge loss. Again, James Wilson was their player of the year last year, but again, he's now left as well because he was a bit injury prone. But they made some really, really good signings, guys. Raheem Harper, another from West Brom. Joe Piggott, a proven goal scorer at level from Wimbledon. Scott Fraser, a good player from Burton and MK Dons. George Edmondson from Rangers, who did well for Rangers last year. Connor Chaplin, who's had a good track record with Portsmouth and Coventry. And Macaulay Bonne as well, who's done well with Charlton in the past. So it's just have got a really, really team that's bursting with great players for League One. And I think they'll probably be my League One champions this season. Now, guys, it's going to be it for my League One predictions. What do you guys think? I think I've done an okay job with these predictions this year. But that's just my personal prediction. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, then be sure to give it a like. And if you are new, then do consider subscribing, as I will be making more football content in the future. And if you want to get notified the second I do upload the video, then please do tap the notification bell. Cheers guys for watching. I'll see you all next time.